Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here I have a great article for you guys from Mike over at Light Reading. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys could check out the article in its entirety. So 2023 in review, FWA in growth mode. So this was a big year, a big story for T-Mobile across the board. We'll make a separate video on Verizon, speaking on them individually as it comes to the FWA topic. So T-Mobile for the four quarters, and of course we still haven't gotten the fourth quarter numbers yet, but it's to be expected that T-Mobile continues its streak of growing FWA above the 500,000 mark. That's what they needed, and it's basic math because they guided 7 to 8 million, so they need to maintain a growth pattern of 500,000 plus every quarter through 2025 to get to their 7 to 8 million target. Some quarters it can be in the higher 500,000s, some it can be in the lower, but it has to be right around the 500,000 for them to get to the 7 to 8 million. Now, something to take into consideration as T-Mobile had a big 2023 for FWA. They're gearing up for another big 2024 because they have to, like I said, continue to 500,000 plus each quarter through 2025 to get to their guided 7 to 8 million. So at the very beginning, when FWA was in beta and T-Mobile got started and they started growing fairly quickly, even early on, it showed that there was big demand. There were a lot of articles that were coming out from analysts, cable bulls that were saying, and they're partially right? If you do the math and you look at the average usage on FWA, the 7 to 8 million total customer count by 2025, if you total that in the usage numbers, that can total, and that report came out very early on in the FWA days, that can total in usage of you adding 100 million wireless lines. That's how much usage 7 to 8 million FWA customers are bringing onto the network. That's insane. Just think we have to go back to that because that's a very important statistic from a usage perspective. T-Mobile's only using extra capacity, and that 7 to 8 million using around the 300 to 400 gigs per month on average would total the equal amount of adding 100 million wireless lines. That's just insane to think about. And that means the FWA customers, when they get to the 7 to 8 million, I mean, they're pulling a ton of capacity at that point. And I know they're using extra capacity to monetize, but that user is going to use a lot of capacity come 2025. Now, that's a good thing because that means T-Mobile is monetizing. They're making extra money. FWA is considered to be a $1 billion revenue driving business. And currently, they're in the driver's seat, right? They get to determine what they do moving forward with this product. If T-Mobile wants the demand to slow, they raise price. If they want to continue growing that business as it stands, they have to invest more. It becomes very simple. At that 7 to 8 million mark, once they get there, they gotta pivot and make a change. They can't continue growing 500,000 every quarter. That's going to kill the wireless network for the mobile user. So at that point, they have to pivot into something. So 2024 is another big outlook for FWA. I anticipate 2025 the pattern to slow down some. By that time, and I'll throw this in as a late hot take, by that time, as they hit 2025, I fully anticipate the FWA pricing to already be higher for T-Mobile. I anticipate it to go up by about $15. So the entry-level cost for you bundling with wireless will go up from $30 to $45. And the $50 price point without wireless would go to $65. I totally see that happening because T-Mobile needs to reduce the demand for the product. It's growing very fast. and they continue accelerating by adding free TVs and free security cameras if you sign up. So they're loading up right now. They're in a loading up mode. Some call it a growth mode. I call it loading up. They're loading up the sectors for the extra capacity. And then once they get there, they look good to the market. They look good to the street. Oh, they hit their 7 to 8 million. But now what happens? Do they all of a sudden allow a bunch of churn to churn out so the wireless network can pick back up? All of that remains to be seen. We can speculate, but that's all a possibility because of the amount of usage that's being put onto the networks. I don't think people are realizing what I said early on in the video, right? That came out very early. That report kind of went missing. Nobody's talking about it again. I wanted to bring that up again in this video and emphasize it. The equivalent, to close out the video, the equivalent of 7 to 8 million customers in usage on FWA is the equivalent of adding 100 million mobile lines, right? Just let that sink in. And again, I'm not saying that I'm not bashing T-Mobile. I'm not saying it's a negative. If they can handle the usage and still maintain the wireless network, by all means, do it. But it puts a strain on the network unlike any engineer at T-Mobile has ever seen. They've never operated any fiber. They don't see any mass usage. They're not a tier 1 ISP. So they're going day by day looking at numbers, running analysis and studying. That's all they're doing. They're still learning. Even though FWA is way out of beta, they're 3 years in, going on year 4, they are still learning and studying because the patterns, the usage is so large and it changes by the second. So they have to be ready for any changes that are inbound. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you guys as we go into 2024. Do you feel this product is short to midterm? I don't think it's a long-term solution. And when I say long-term, I'm talking 2030 and beyond. Can they still grow that business in 2030 and beyond as they're operating it today? I'm not talking 2 years, 3 years from now. 2 years, 3 years from now, I think they can still manage some type of growth because some people will leave. They will add C-band and DoD. So there is still some type of growth to get, but not at the 500,000 to 600,000 rate. That's done. After 2025, they will raise price and they will slow down the growth because they know what they're trying to do. So unless we get a totally different guidance and strategy in 2024, maybe another analyst day from T-Mobile stating like, hey, look, we're going to do this. We're going to do access points with millimeter wave. We're going to invest $2 to $3 billion separately on that. We're going to put routers in rotation that have millimeter wave specifically for FWA. We're going to do fiber in a bigger pocket. Unless they announce something like that, I don't see any of that changing. I don't see them going to 10 and double-digit millions because 2.5 can only do so much for them. So leave all your thoughts in the comment section down below. I do look forward to reading your comments. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you are notified when I do upload content. Make sure to follow my social media outlets for more updates. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.